Test 1, 2. Fade in. And we are back. H3 and none other than my partner, cohort, Roman, the great Claude, Roman Claude Rankin, and we are collectively the Truth Hurts. How you doing tonight, Claude?
I got tears right now, but I'll explain it later. Why I got the tears in my eyes.
Oh no, not the tears.
Oh yes, it's about to be a tearful moment. Well, what we gonna talk about?
Man, we got a lot to cover. We're gonna hit our points, and we're gonna hit it and quit it, and we're gonna move on. But I want to thank everybody for all your support. We want to thank you, and God bless you. And we're gonna keep.
I want to get this out the way.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to get this out the way. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and everything else. I hope Thanksgiving was good for everybody.
It was for us. How about you?
It was.
Wonderful.
It was great. Wonderful.
Beautiful, Claude.
So I got that off my chest.
And I'm glad you did. Because I was about to overlook it. Yeah, I'm glad everybody had hopefully everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And a lot to be thankful about. We're above ground. All right. Well, we got a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. This is the hard part. We're going to talk about the election results. Well, we said something about that way back in 2020. We said that Donald Trump, and we used the word of the Lord to prove it, would get back in office. And, I know either nobody paid attention or everybody dismissed it, but we were right. Scores of people thought he would never. Well, first of all, they thought he was going to go to prison.
No, we was praying that he would.
You said you were praying that he went to prison. So people thought he was going to go to prison. Then he was almost assassinated twice.
He only got an earshot.
No, but somebody else tried to assassinate him on the golf course while he was playing golf on what's it called, Mar-a-Lago, wherever his home is in Florida. I'm sorry, what?
If you can't play golf, just step course. Just step golf course. It's killing me inside.
So it ain't so much about whether he can play or not. Somebody tried to kill him. The FBI this time didn't botch it, and they caught him, or the Secret Service, before he could get off a shot. So okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty of this thing.
Yes.
Kamala, the Ugandan Giants' daughter. Kamala Harris. We
had it right.
She had $2 billion campaign budget. And from my understanding, she's about $50 or $60 million in debt. She spent that money on everything you can imagine. She paid off celebrities. She paid for Megan Thee Stallion to twerk on her campaign rally. She built a set that cost about, I think it was about $6 or $7 million, some fake podcast. None of it worked because people were sick and tired of her rhetoric.
Making a clown out of
her word salad, her pro-abortion trash, deleting, killing babies. The woman is a sick puppy. She proposed black men sell weed. I know she's gone. So what we're going to do is take a quick look at a ABL video, and we're gonna see how this thing was set up. As you recall, Claude, Biden originally was supposed Joe Biden, the current president who's about to be out of office come January, senior citizen. He was supposed to be the president, but he got thrust out after his debate with Trump, and they were like, "We want Kamala," and it was like, "Wow," you know. And now, don't get me wrong, he did terrible. He looked decrepit, senile, and he looked like sounded like he almost like he had some form of dementia. But after all, he was I'm sorry, what?
We don't want that for nobody.
We don't want that on nobody. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But the bottom line is, those were the excuses they used to oust him. And it was pretty bold what they did, but they did it. And they made Kamala, I'm going to refrain myself, they made her the Democratic nominee. Forget about what the people want or think. They just said, well, she's vice president, she's in line, she's a nominee. So let's look at this, study this real quick. We're not gonna be long with this. So stand by. This is an ABL Anthony Brian Logan video, and it shows how the Democratic Party is broken up in factions, kind of like wrestling. Remember back in the day when you had what was it? The Nation of Domination versus what was that called? Degeneration X versus Los Boricuas. What was the name of Los Boricuas? Savio Vega had a faction.
Yeah. Everybody had a faction. What's that?
Crush had a DOA.
Yeah, DOA.
Dead on Arrival. Yeah, they had all of these. That's not what they were called, but I'm just joking. But
I'm joking.
folks, we're gonna have a good time with this episode. But that's how the Democratic Party is broken up into. They're not unified, and we're gonna find out what's really going on in a second. Stand by, y'all. Here's the video.
Kamala Harris mega donors are not too pleased with the Obama world, and they blame them in part for her spectacular 2024 presidential election loss. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kamala Harris mega donors blaming the Obama world, at least in part, for Kamala Harris's spectacular election defeat up against President Donald J. Trump. Now, I'm not surprised here. This is part of the ongoing Democratic Party civil war that's happening and has been happening for a long time. I'm not quite sure when it started, but it is raging. You have different camps in the party, and sometimes, a lot of times, they have diverging objectives. You have the Obama world, okay, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, all those up under him. You have them. Then you have the Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, you got them. Now you have the squad with AOC and her ilk, the fire alarm puller, Jamal Bowman. And by the way, they kind of fracturing. A lot of them are falling off. I think Jamal Bowman lost. I think Cori Bush lost. But different story, I digress. You still got quite a few powerful squad members, AOC, Ilhan Omar, etc. They're all kind of doing different things. Now, what happened here is the Obama world collided with outside interests, I suppose. You see, the Obamas know Joe very well. They did not want him to run. They did not want him to run. And him running and becoming the president spawned Kamala. We'll talk about all that a little bit more a little bit later. But first, let's get into some clips from earlier in the year. Okay, earlier in the year, we got Trump and J.D. Vance talking about what I was just saying about how Barack Obama, the Obama world, they're not big fans of Joe Biden. They didn't want him to run to begin with. Check it out.
Barack Obama is still plotting against you, trying to take you out. They got some big problems over there. First of all, Obama hates Biden, and Biden hates Obama. And when Obama walked Biden out a couple of weeks ago off the stage, he didn't have to do that. He could have let him wave to the people a little bit longer. I don't know if Joe knew who he was waving to, but he was waving. And all of a sudden, Obama comes along, grabs him. Come on, Joe. Like he was a child. It made him look so bad. And I know people with Biden. I know people with Obama. And they were not happy about that. It made him look really bad, like a child. Like a child. They don't like each other. And I think that it's pretty tough. This guy got, 14, 15 million votes, delegates. He had the votes. So he goes through a process. He gets them. And the whole thing has been a con. Look, when they kept him in the basement in the first, those people should be looked at because they lied to the American public.
Hey. Sorry about that, y'all. All right. So that's a taste of what's going on or what went on behind the scenes, why Biden was thrust out because the Obama camp didn't want him. And from my understanding, it's the Hillary Clinton camp. They didn't want him. So basically what was revealed in this video is that they despised Joe Biden. So people were like, are you kidding me? He was Obama's vice president for 8 years. Yeah, that's how politics are. Politics are a dirty game, and there's a lot of backstabbing, a lot of backbiting, even more so than in wrestling and pro sports. And Claude can attest to that. Now, I'm going to skip ahead on this. I'm sorry, what, Claude?
I said I was the greatest of all time.
You were the greatest of all time. What, hockey player?
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I had to retire.
Claude was great as a lot of things until he had to retire. Now I'm going to skip ahead in this video, and we're going to I hope I get the right spot. Yeah, this is the right spot. We're going to be, this is one of, okay, Kamala Harris had once they ousted Joe Biden and told him, go sit down somewhere, Joe, made him look like a fool. Not that he wasn't doing a good job by himself, but they put in Kamala, John and Giant daughter, Harris, and then she proceeded to blow through $2 billion in campaign money. She paid off a lot of people to endorse her. Oprah Winfrey. I already mentioned Megan Thee Stallion. Al Sharpton. That round-faced guy, Roland Martin. Lot of celebrities. D.L. Hughley, I think he was one of them.
Well, they didn't pay me enough.
They ain't pay Claude and me nothing. How could they even pay us nothing? We would have been. They didn't pay us nothing. We could have got up here and lied and endorsed and said you was a good candidate.
A couple words.
Yeah, right. So let's look at, we're going to be ready to wrap this up in a second. I'm going to put on this. This is one of the donors. And, Kamala basically, after she got trounced in the election, she stood up her supporters. I think there was a big rally at, not Hampton University. What's it called? Howard University. And she stood them up, and people was everybody got paid except the people who were doing the hard work, the groundwork. So let's listen real quick to one of these what they call it, campaign workers or donors. She's an Asian lady. Stand by, y'all.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to be racist, but I got to ask a question because I know it's not just me thinking that, but let's go ahead and watch this. And of course, everything will be in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Held 2 calls, one for her top donors and one for grassroots. I was speaking and texting with fellow attendees of the call, and we were amazed by how self-congratulatory the tone was. I don't recall, the call was about 20, 30 minutes. I don't recall anyone taking responsibility for the fact that we spent about $2 billion across Super PAC in
$2 billion with a B. $2 billion.
The campaign and came up so significantly short. We lost 7 swing states.
Self-congratulatory in what types of things were being said?
They praised Harris as a visionary leader. I believe at one moment during the call, she was talking about her Thanksgiving recipe. And I don't say this with any malice or anything. I'm just merely conveying what happened. I think I was stunned to hear that, given just the extent and brutality of the loss and the fact that DNC staffers, at least two thirds have been fired summarily. And a lot of them are at a loss as to what to do. I'm just frankly stunned that there was no sort of postmortem or an analysis of how we can do better, what sort of lessons were learned. It was really just patting each other on the back, congratulating each other on I'm not sure what, and saying we'll see you for Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of donors are not happy. A number of them are blaming people in Obama world. That's who they helicoptered in after Biden stepped down. A lot of consultants in Obama world came over and took over the campaign apparatus. The same people who were whispering and leaking to the press that Harris should be replaced at the top of the ticket.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. They didn't like her either. Don't get it twisted. They didn't like this black woman. They don't. They did not want her to become the nominee at all.
When Biden was.
Okay, we're going to stop it there. We just spent enough time on that. But you get the picture. I just wanted to back up what I said. We said with receipts, $2 billion blown, thrown out the window. A lot of that money wasted. So, don't get us wrong. We're not no Trump fans either. I know I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for neither one of them. But the point is, there's no telling what she would have done with the country's money if she was elected. So pick your poison, folks. So we got poison number 1, Donald Trump. Now, here's what we said, and then we're going to wrap this up, put a bow on it, as ABL would say. We said 4 years ago that Trump, the Lord revealed to me that Trump was analogous or similar to King Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible. And I had the scriptures to back it up. You can also look at the show. I reposted the show on our page. I can't remember what episode number, but I put a caption under it so you'll know. So this is what we used to show that Trump would make a comeback. Now stand by. In the book of Daniel, in the King James Version of the Holy Bible, is Daniel 4th chapter, 31st to the 32nd verse, and then the 35th reads thusly. While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. And in the 32nd verse, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as the oxen, and sometimes shall pass over thee. That represents 7 years. Until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. Now going down to the 35th verse, and all of the Now, this is King Nebuchadnezzar himself speaking in the 35th verse. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what doest thou? In other words, when his sanity returned to him, Nebuchadnezzar, and he was restored back to his kingdom, he said the Lord can do whatever he wants to whomever he wants. He can elevate a man and he can debase him, meaning he can pull him down and he can destroy him. And that's what happened to Trump. He was put out of office, even though you had a bunch of hypocrites saying fake pastors and prophets saying that he was going to win. This is back in 2020. And he lost, and he was driven out of office, even though they tried to have an insurrection and keep him in. Didn't work. I know you remember that, January 6th, Claude.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that? So,
yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yeah. He had, I don't know how many different charges against him and stuff, and he tried to assassinate him. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. And they still brought him back.
And they still brought him back. So it's a killer. God is the ruler and has control of everything. He created this world. He can destroy it. But he's merciful, he's loving, and he's trying to give people a chance while there's still time left. But Kamala, the Uganda giant's daughter, was a fraud. She was not going to get in. They did the okey doke to put her in. Biden fell out of favor. They tried to put her in. It did not work. And there we have it. They spent $2 billion trying to put her in office. Still didn't work. And that's all we really have to say. We're not saying this to brag or anything. That was the revelation given to us by God's permission. It was quite humbling, actually, that we were given that and we broadcast it. And it came to pass. So I thank God for that. And it's something what it proves is that in the Word, is for our the Word is for our learning, and everything in there shows you what has happened, is happening, and will happen, because it's for our learning, because the same things always repeat themselves, because the people just do stupid things and they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So anyway, let's move on, because we're going to talk about some more people making mistakes. Let's lighten things up. Claude want to talk about this, so let's get this over with. Let's get it over with.
Let's go. LeBron James. My God. Alright. You already got 4 rings. Let's go. That's it. Now you ain't happy. You happy. You went to LA. Now you ain't happy there. Now you got your son there. He can't score 20 points. 20. That's all I asked for. 20 points. You get 5. 5 points. Get kicked out the league. I ain't even in the league. What's up with that? He came in. Look, dude. Look. All I'm asking, stay in your lane. That's all we ask. Please, stay in your lane.
Who is this?
This is LeBron James. This is LeBron James' son. LeBron, you got 4 rings. Let it go. Just stop. don't think there's nothing in there. He ain't no good. Let him do him. Let him do him. You don't want to play basketball. You're making him do what you want to do.
Right.
Be in your shadows. Just let it go. Let it go. It's over. It can't be you. Let it go.
I agree with Claude 100%. Let's recap real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Claude pretty much broke it down, but what is currently happening? And I don't have any pictures or no video because I'm sick to death of LeBron James. I ain't got nothing against him personally per se, but I've never been no fan of his. But whatever, the media's always been trying to put him as the greatest of all time and all this hype. And he is the all-time leading scorer in NBA. He should be. He's been in there 20 years, 21 years. So what has happened? He's with the La Lakers, fakers, and he's trying to hang around to win a championship. I think he came to the realization that's not going to happen. So his next gimmick was to bring his son in, Bronny, and he declared that this young man was better than some of the players in the league. I was like, that was a mistake. So what has happened after the Lakers drafted him in the second round? I forgot what pick. But they passed on a lot of good players for him. I'm sorry, what did you say, Claude?
56 or 57 or 55th. One of the two.
55th. They passed on a lot of good players for him. So anyway, here's the bottom line. They brought him in. They created this fake storyline like in wrestling where, there's the father-son playing together. Oh, there's NBA history, even though that's been done in professional sports countless of times, but whatever. All right. Let's say it is a first in the NBA. Congratulations. Then once that was done, they should have just let it go. But no. They kept pushing him that he was more, I'm talking about Bronny, that he was more than what he actually was. He really was not ready for that. He wasn't even ready for the G League. And
that's bad.
He is very bad. So basically, they're in a bind because if they cut him, that shows it was all a fraud, which everybody knows anyway. So what they're doing is they're switching him back and forth between the G League and the regular team, which I've never heard of before. So when the G League is away, he's with the Lakers. And when the G League team is at home, he's with them. And he's not really doing much of anything with either. So he really wasn't ready. He should have stayed in school. But they rushed this because they wanted this publicity stunt. So LeBron James has been taking so much flack. He announced he was going off of social media. Oh, poor Bron.
Oh, just go.
So he left social media and he's been getting roasted. So some of his biggest allies include Stephen A. Smith, Gnarls Barkley, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. All types of different podcasters. And personally, I don't care. I'm not a Laker fan. I really don't care. He can do whatever he wants to do. They could take Bronny James and put him in the starting lineup for all I care. Doesn't mean I'm not losing no sleep over it. That's only for Laker fans. to lose sleep and split hairs about. We really don't care. So that's my analysis. Claude has given his analysis. So tell us what you think in the comments. because because we really do not care. Our take was from the beginning. First of all, does he really want to play basketball? As Claude said, does he even want to really play? I guess he does, but
boy, his father making him play. It's a difference.
Yeah, I think his father. We think his daddy is making him play, and because the young man had a heart attack. I thought.
Had a heart attack. Wait. Here you go. Let's change things. Let's put things in the real world. If somebody, no, I'm gonna put my life in there. Put my life. All right. So I get hit by a car. No, this is real. This is real for me. So I can't do certain things now. I can't play hockey. I find another thing I can do. Not in 10%.
Right.
Do that.
Right.
I got better. I got good. I got my skills up to play 10%. I can't play hockey, but I can surely play 10%.
Exactly.
No
Exactly.
No heart attack, so on 10%. But it's just a thing. It's a thing of life.
That's right. Claude hit the nail on the head. He's referring to a real life situation. That's not a example he made up. That's what happened to hockey. Claude was Mr. Hockey.
Yeah.
He was darn good at it, but when he had his car, the automobile accident, and God spared him, he had to give that up. He had to give it up, and he took up table tennis, and eventually we formed the Wolfpack Alliance. but that's in the history books. But the point is, it come a time where you have to, because of circumstances, it could be your health, it could be family issues or whatever, you have to change directions. But was Bronny the one who made that decision, or was his daddy the one pulling the chains, pulling the puppet strings? We think it was his dad. Daddy, yeah, was behind all of that. So this is what reap what you sow. This is what they've sown. Now you got to deal with it. You got to deal with the ridicule. You got to deal with the critics. And running away from it, you're not going to be able to run away from it. LeBron also is getting clowned for his association with P. Diddy.
Do you want me to go at him, or do you want to go?
Well, I'm gonna give you some time, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. You go first.
Okay. All right. Now, you at Diddy's party. You get invited to Diddy's party. You have a choice. Everybody have a choice. Now, you LeBron James. Do you know who you are, LeBron James? You have a choice to go, or you got a choice to stay at home with a wife and kids.
Amen. Amen.
You got a choice. You got kids at home. You make a decision of who you want to be. You want to be Diddy's lapdog, or you want to be a father of whoever, how many kids you got, I don't care. But you want to be Diddy's lapdog. Just for kicks and giggles, and Diddy ain't throwing you no dollars. Y'all probably make the same amount of money. About the same amount.
True.
Only you can shoot baskets in the rim. Sometimes you get a ring. I mean, sometimes you can make it, sometimes you don't.
Exactly.
All I know is you're making a fool out of yourself. Diddy don't care about you. see Diddy kill. I think Diddy has something to do with Biggie assassination. But that's my opinion. I don't know. You know, that's just my opinion.
Right.
But
let me add something to that. Since you said that about this Biggie thing,
yeah,
I don't know if that's true or not, but I know there have been people who have been assaulted for saying that. A woman was sexually assaulted because she said he had something to do with Tupac's death.
yeah, I remember that.
That's the allegation. Recently, the club was saying, "Man, we need more followers." No, we don't. No, we don't. If we got 7, that's good enough. If God blesses us with 7, that's good. We currently have about 59. That's a blessing. That's good enough, because the people who have the big followings, the so-called 100,000 subscribers, 120,000 followers, 1,000,000 followers, Diddy done sent henchmen after them, so-called detectives, for talking about him. And you keep in mind, this man is in jail, and he's sending people after people. So, they don't want you to even have an opinion. You know, this man, these people want to be able to get away with some of anything. And it's like, no, the truth hurts, and we're going to talk about it. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We because that's the type of stuff they're stooping to now. I'm not, folks. We ain't making this up. This is true. This is really happening. I could put up a video about it, but for time purposes, I'm not going to. Do your homework and research how Diddy sent out quote unquote private investigators to harass influencers, people who were talking about his case.
Yeah, you get mad. Well, you did the crime, now it's time to do the time. Wait, go on there with your boy, all right, Kelly. You can't run forever.
Exactly. Yeah. So we had no part of your parties, like Bronny, who once infamously said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," and was dressed in a maid's outfit. We had nothing to do with that. We never was invited to no party, so we ain't never seen what. All we going by is video evidence and what other people have said. So and FBI. So it'll all come out in the trial, and then it's over. We'll be sentenced, and we'll be moving on. And all the celebs that was taking part, they'll be called in to testify, so we'll know who was behind what.
Yeah, who's next?
Who's next? Now.
Who's next?
It sound like Goldberg. Bill Goldberg. Okay. We're going to get back into some of the celebrity foolishness in a minute, but we're going to move over into sports, and we're going to talk about the Lions. Huh?
You want Lions first? You want to go Lions first, or you want to talk about the Tyson Logan Paul fight?
I don't want to talk about that at all. If you want to even call it a fight, I'll let you speak on it because you saw it. I can add my 2 cents in it. Go ahead.
I said that mug was rigged. After the first 2 rounds, it was rigged.
Riggs!
I think Tyson's gonna go to wrestling and fight his brother.
Logan Paul's brother?
Yeah. Might as well call it it's gonna be at WrestleMania. We might as well say that. So he can get quick money. because it was rigged after the third round, but he stood the distance. Tyson stood the distance, but you know the refs, he paid the refs.
Well, that
he paid the refs to go to the whole 8 rounds.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
Third round.
Oh, okay.
Third round, he was a done deal.
You talk about Tyson?
Tyson was done.
Yeah, I heard his legs. I heard his legs were gone. So the man is what, 58?
He beat 58 at the end of the year.
Yeah, I heard his legs were gone. I heard he didn't throw a single uppercut, which was one of his killer punches back in the day, back when he was young. And I even heard that the thing was scripted like a wrestling match. There was an actual script leaked. So the whole thing was a fraud. They need to be ashamed of themselves for classifying, what do they call it? Licensing it like it was an actual real match, boxing match.
The women do a better fight than that. The women.
Right.
The women.
Yeah. It's really a bad, shameful. It was a Logan Paul production.
Yes, that's why.
And he got paid, I think if my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong, but I thought he got paid
more
40 for the fight, and Tyson got 20.
Just to show up.
Just to show up. So, people bet on that. You just threw your money away. Just threw it away. You might as well put a match to it. Because the whole thing was staged. Just
keyword at my job. I mean, I ain't gonna say what it was, but I do what it do. But wherever I was at, he was betting on Mike Tyson. I'm like, dude, last time you betted me, you didn't want to pay me. You had to get somebody. I just said, dude, I don't want to take your money now. But if it was on the street, you're lucky I'll go by the car. The old me would have took your money. But this new me.
Stop.
No, I'm saying, no, remember how we used to do the tennis table tennis rule, we don't gamble.
Right. I know what you mean. What Claude is talking about, when we played table tennis and had the Wolfpack Alliance, occasionally we would have people who want to bet us, put money down. We said absolutely no gambling, because what was going to happen if we beat you, it's going to be a problem, because you're not going to want to pay the money, and if you do fork over the money, you're going to want to play to get it back, which you're not going to, at least not by beating us. You're not going to. And we just said ethically, morally, we said no gambling. This is not what this is about. This is not what this is about. So with that thing, with a lot of these sports now, you should look at it in our opinion, as pro wrestling. It's sports entertainment. That's all. From the NFL to the NBA to really, to me, all of them. Any one of them especially that have the gambling apps, that stuff is tightly controlled. But the Tyson thing and Logan Paul, that was just it wasn't even a good exhibition. It wasn't even a good exhibition fight. It was killing Claude inside for watching it. So yeah, folks, that was the debacle, the farce of that. Now, let's move on to some more sports entertainment. that's legit, supposed to be legit. The Lions, the NFL. Lions are 11-1. I'm sorry.
Are they playoff? Are they going to the playoffs?
I think
Or
so.
They are going to the playoffs.
Even if they lose all of their next game, they're still going to the playoff. But we believe they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Vegas.
Super Bowl?
Did you say Super Bowl? Playoffs? Did you say playoffs? Yeah, the Lions. The words are the not. They used to did not be synonymous. But now, I'm sorry. What?
In the same sentence.
In the same sentence, not even in the same paragraph or the same page.
Playoffs?
Did you say playoffs?
Playoffs?
The Lions actually are predicted from the beginning of the season to go to the Super Bowl. That has never happened before. They also have never been 11-1. On Thanksgiving Day, they beat the Bears, the Chicago Bears. What was that final score? 26-23.
Yeah.
And the way they beat them was absolutely hilarious. So I have some, huh?
How are they gonna have my thing was in the game
Uh-huh.
in the first half you up 16-0. So they should have had 23-0 at the end of the first half. But no, they choked and threw it in on by the end of the first half. But they didn't get close to the second half. They didn't get close to the second half.
What do you mean they didn't get close? What do you mean they didn't get close?
Because the Bears came back and nearly won, but they didn't because the Lions picked them in the second half.
They picked them.
Mm-hmm. Interception. Bears threw interception in the second half.
Was that what happened? Did you watch the game, Claude?
Yeah, I saw the game.
But you didn't see the end, though. I thought you said you just saw the first half.
I saw both halves.
No, you didn't, because I asked you if you saw the ending. You said no. All right, let's clear all this up.
Go ahead.
Let's clear this up and not waste a lot of time going back and forth. I'm gonna show some clips from the game. So stand by. And by the way, we don't own a copyright, but this is the property of the NFL. Hopefully that's enough disclaimer. We don't want to get sued. Stand by.
So they begin with a running play to the former Bear. They hand it off, and Montgomery straight ahead for 10. Now they go with Gibbs. From one force to another. 3rd and 4. Time to find a target. It's Jamison Williams, and he's got a first down. And play action. Down the field he goes. Sideline route. Amon-Ra has it for another first down. St. Brown. Audible at the line. Now throws. And again, it's Jamal Williams with the first down catch. His second conversion on this opening drive. Here they go. End around. Look at this. To Sewell. The tackle. And it's just not there. But how about this imagination? I would love to know what he was going to do with that. But the crowd loves it. They lose yardage, but they love the imagination. Here's a 3rd and 9 with Gibbs in empty backfield. Looking, throwing. And it's too steep for Patrick. Jake Bates from 30 yards, and now a perfect 17 of 17 on the season.
All right, I just showed the first drive of the game, and the Lions came away with a field goal. So, as Claude said, they dominated the first half. Bears didn't score a point. They was up, I think, 16-0 in the first half. Now, I had to step away from it, but the Chicago made a comeback on the backs of their quarterback, Caleb Williams. Now, they had great performances from the Sonic and Knuckles, Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery, the two running backs. And also, Goff was pretty much on. He didn't throw any picks. But one thing I noticed, the Lions was about to put them away in the first half, but the guy made a fantastic tackle on Gibbs and knocked the ball out of his hands and forced a fumble. It was like a helmet bump where he bumped the ball out of his hands with his helmet. He hit him hard. And that seemed to stop it because they would have been up, what would that have been? 23-0 in the first half. So Lions did score a touchdown in the second half. But one thing that they claimed, which I didn't see this play, but they killed one of their drives was what they call him, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams had a unsportsmanlike conduct play where he flipped the ball in the other player's face. He's a great player, but he always seems to do something stupid, just something dumb. And thank God they're for his sake they're patient with him. They're very patient. And he ended up having to apologize for that because they killed that drive. Because I think unsportsmanlike conduct is a 15-yard penalty, if my memory serves me correctly. And so the Bears came back. Caleb Williams now. We're going to take a look at the end of the game. And one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time in an NFL game. So we're going to get down to like the last minute. Lions are 23-20, and the Bears are driving. They're in Lions territory. Now, Claude said he didn't see this the last time we talked. Have you seen it since then?
Yeah.
The end of the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold your thoughts. We're going to watch it together, y'all. Stand by.
Shelton has returned for this shotgun snap. Back to Williams. Pass. Broken up. From the pocket. Pass. Caught. First down. It's Moore. Down to the 22-yard line.
I think this is coming back. Komet keeps running.
Pass interference. Number 85, offense.
You got it, Tony.
Previous spot. Replay. Fourth out.
Williams has to backpedal. Running for his life and heaves it down the field. And a flag comes out.
Pass interference. Number 29, defense. Ball replaced the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
No one touched him. And down goes Williams. Zadarius Smith.
Well, this is supposed to be a quarterback draw. They have a light box.
Clock is running with 15 seconds, and it's 3rd and 26. They have one timeout left.
This is like the light box. You could have gotten numbers, but just didn't.
You better hurry.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is
game, no.
Disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over. Completely botched at the end by the Bears.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout. You just assumed they would have taken.
They're looking around like, what just happened?
They had a timeout left.
The clock has struck 0. and it is over. They took way too long to get in position to run this play. This had no intention of being their final play.
Oh, my goodness.
They would have had an attempt of a field goal to send it to overtime.
And there you have it. The Bears botched the ending. And if it was a script, they would have blown it. The coach didn't call the timeout, and then he tried to throw the quarterback under the bus and say he should have called the timeout. They had a timeout left. That was really dumb. So for our understanding, he got fired. The Bears coach, what's his name? Blunderhouse or but he's gone. That was a because they had lost a bunch of games like that, and he looked like a deer in the headlights. He just I guess he knew he was gone. I guess he just said skip it. I thought that was just the most funniest thing in the world when I saw that. And so the Bears fans was crying. I'm sorry, what?
We seen some dumb coaches move, but that was tough.
Yeah. That was right up there at the time. What was his name? Marty Morningwig for the Lions. They tied the game and went into overtime, and the Lions won the coin toss, and he gave the ball to the other team. That's what helped get him fired. That was a long time ago. Thank God we don't do things that stupid no more. But bottom line is, the Lions broke an 8-game Thanksgiving Day losing streak, and they became 11-1 in the first time in their team history. What you think about that, Claude?
It's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this moment.
Claude is enjoying this. Claude has exceeding joy, and I'm happy I'm living to see it, because I didn't think I would live to see anything like this in my time. All right, so there we go with the Lions. Let's see. We're going to briefly talk about the Pistons. We'll keep this short and sweet. The Pistons have been doing decent, much better than they were last year, but they're still inconsistent. But they're much improved because now they have some veterans mixed with their younger core, which consists of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Sir Arthur Thompson, who is back. He was out with blood clots. He was cleared to play, so he's back in the starting lineup. Who am I missing? The Incredible Hulk, Isaiah Stewart. So now they have some veterans mixed in with them, and they're doing a great job. Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, and especially Malik Beasley. He has been, as of late, he has been shooting lights out. Tim Hardaway Jr. was shooting good, then he kind of tailed off. He had got injured. Took a double shot from somebody on the Heat, Miami Heat. I think it was Bam Adebayo and somebody else. And he was out a few games. Bam Adebayo. But he's back, and his shooting has been a little inconsistent, but he'll be back. He'll be back to number one. So, but Cade Cunningham has been spectacular. He's been averaging 23 points per game, about 8 or 9 assists. Now, this is his averages, and probably about 6 or 7 rebounds. He's already had about 3 triple-doubles. And Jaden Ivey has been much improved. He's been great. He had a game winner the other day when they beat, was it the Raptors, Claude?
Yes.
Did they beat the Raptors? I think it was 103-102. He hit the game winner.
Yeah.
And Jay Ivey's been having some great games. So they're much improved. And they're currently they have an opportunity for this in league tournament, the Emirates Cup or something they call it, something like that. And they actually, excuse me, pardon me, y'all, 3-0 in that, and they're playing Milwaukee to see who wins their bracket. So that's my take on it. We talked about this much earlier when they hired Trajan Langdon, the new GM. He's the Pistons GM. They fired the other guy, Weaver, thank God. And they brought in B.J. Bickerstaff from Cleveland, who had fired him. And he's helping turn the team around because already their record is way better than it was last year. It's still not 500 yet, but I think it's 9-12 or 9-13, something like that. It's not that bad. So, any takes on your end, Claude, about the Pistons?
We taking it a season at a time. That's all I'm calling.
You said a season at a time. I'll go out on a limb and say a game at a time. Because some days they look unbeatable, and then other games it's like, what happened? They beat the Lakers, and so who was somebody they destroyed? Was it the Pacers? Who was it that they really?
Pacers. Indiana.
It was Indiana, thank you. It was like 130 or 102. And I mean, it looked like they could beat any team in the league. They were whipping on Indiana because Indiana's not a bad team. So they'll eventually become more consistent. So that's our take on the Pistons. Moving on, I think I'm only going to go into this last one. I think I'm going to skip the one with Mel Gibson. A while back, and we're gonna wrap it up after this, unless Claude want to add anything else. We warned everybody about a jackleg fake preacher named Jamal Bryant, whom at the time we did the episode about him, I think it was called Nobody's Safe. I think it was episode maybe 33. We warned everybody because this nut was talking about he wanted parishioners to smell like weed. I was like, what type of a fool would make a statement like that? Talking about he was going to grow cannabis in the church and teach people about farming. I said, this man is a charlatan. So he is the cousin of Apostle Geno Jennings. And Apostle Jennings is very ashamed of that. And he's called him out numerous times. His own cousin, he's called him out and called him a liar and a fraud, which he is. Because this man is just, to give you some brief background on him, he loves hanging out with celebrities. And and he endorsed Kamala, the Ghana Giants' daughter, Kamala Harris. And she was in his pulpit, and he was saying, shame on y'all for not wanting to vote for her. All this old nonsense. You shouldn't even be up there. So I don't know, like, what is this nut talking about? So he was run out. He had a church in Baltimore, but he was run out of there because I believe he got a woman pregnant that wasn't his wife, and it broke his marriage up. Then he showed the type of bang up. I mean, what they call it, stand up guy he is. He threw the lady under the bus. He got pregnant and basically faulted her. Well, I thought it took two to tango. What do you mean? So I don't know what this man is a world class dummy. I don't pull no punches when it comes to Jamal Bryant. Now the reason why we're bringing him up is because C-Rock Smooth did a episode on him, and he's in trouble with Ray J of all people. And for those of you not familiar with who that is, he is the R&B actress singer Brandy's brother, and he calls himself being an entertainer. Not much of one. Exactly. So apparently Jamal Bryant, being the genius he is, was interviewing Ray J. And well, let's take a look at this right quick. Stand by, y'all.
If I had on a wig, I would want to date myself.
Stop.
Yes.
I got threatened.
Yes.
Not by white supremacists.
Yes. No. Yes.
Not by the Klan. Suge Knight is in jail. Who did I get threatened by?
By an R&B singer.
Not Brandy's brother.
Oh.
It can't be.
That's all we can call him is Brandy's brother.
What?
Peace. Welcome to another episode of the C-Rock Smooth Show on its Juicy TV, where the truth is told and the truth is gold. We are back, brothers and sisters. So this episode, I want to cover the situation that just recently happened with Ray J and Jamal Bryant. Ray J threatened Jamal Bryant that if he released the interview that he apparently did on the Jamal Bryant show, that people will be getting snatched out of the pulpit. Take a look at this.
I got nothing but love for Pastor Bryant. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. Shout out to Von Alvarez. But if y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit. If y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit.
If y'all play that interview, somebody gets snatched off the pulpit.
Oh. What? What?
Don't play the interview. It's not clear. It was out of bounds. Me and Pastor Brian need to talk because the way I was treated was dirty and illegal. And I don't like it. And I don't want nobody to play that interview. I don't care if you from the church or not. Like be respectful and do people right. Don't call people out their name and don't make people feel like they're not safe in a place where they thought they were safe. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, we need to work it out. Because if we don't, that's going to be a problem.
Well, yeah, Ray J says it's going to be a problem. Oh, R&B singer Ray J sounds like a dangerous guy to me. I don't know. I don't know, folks. It's getting a little heated. So he sent that message out so that it would get to Jamal Bryant. Now, obviously, there's some people who love Jamal Bryant. And they're saying, well, if Ray J want to come up in this church, we can get it on. You know, people are talking like there might be some guns involved in this situation. I'm like, wow, church folk ready to shoot it out? It's a little strange.
I'm gonna stop it there. So what is your what is your take on that?
I'm saying crazy.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm saying West that crazy too. tell him down some written and stuff.
Talk about Ray J.
Tell him going some calm down. Tell him calm down. Take some meds. Go to sleep.
Well, later in the show, I'm not going to play it, but if y'all get a chance, I posted it on our Facebook page. Take a look at it. Ray J's, I don't know where C-Rock will find this stuff. I got to give that brother props. Doing great Holy Ghost detective work. He found an interview, a clip of Ray J talking to Nicki Minaj. And so he was asking her basically for a job. And she was basically like, no. Because in so many words, you're a nut and I don't want to have nothing to do with you. So he was talking some old crazy talking about his company's called the Gagency. And he kept referring to himself as a barb, as in short for Barbie. Like, this guy, he must be gay. So she kept saying, are you trying to come out the closet on me? And he was like, no, I'm not trying to come out the closet, but I do have the Gagency. I'm like, this guy is gone. So here's my analysis of all this. We warn people about this shyster Jamal Bryant. And so he sat up and said the most insane things. He's blasphemed and said all types of stupid stuff. But one thing I noticed, one of his Achilles heels is he loves celebrities. Years and years ago, he did some type of show. Claude, I don't think you remember this show, but I've actually seen clips of this. It was called Casey and JoJo. I don't know what the rest of the title was. Casey and JoJo get psychoanalyzed. I can't remember what the name was. But Jamal Bryant supposedly was their spiritual advisor. And basically, now you got to remember this is a reality show, which means it's unreal. But even on that show, they was like, we ain't trying to hear this guy. This guy is a fool. You're talking about Jamal Bryant. So I knew right then, I said, that's his weakness. He just loved hobnobbing with these celebrities. So I think what God has done is allowed him to meet his match. Is basically what has happened. Why were you interviewing Ray J? Why? Y'all buddies? But it's blown up in his face. So now this guy, I guess it's his stalker or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know what's going on, actually, between them, because there's no telling what's going on between them. But Nicki Minaj came off like she had more sense than both of them combined. And you know that's saying something, folks. That's saying something. So that's my take on it. But there's another We Told You So moment. And we nominate both of them for our Hey Man, Is That Guy Crazy? Award of the week. Ray J and Jamal Bryant. I'm sorry, what?
Didn't they get last time? Hey man, just all crazy? Or last episode?
No, neither one of them. It was somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're not being repetitious. No.
Okay, just make sure.
We want to be fair now. If you win an award, we want to be fair. We don't want to, give it to the same person over and over again. Okay, so that's all I have, Claude. It was some other stuff, but I'm going to say that for another time. It was some Mel Gibson talking about TD Snakes, but TD Snakes, as far as I'm concerned, he's done. He had to step down. as the head of the Potter's house. He gave it to his daughter. And then supposedly, allegedly, he had a medical emergency in the pulpit, but he survived that. And, so now everybody's starting to pile on him because of his association with Diddy. But we already covered all that. We're not going garbage. We're not going backwards, going forwards. So any closing remarks about any of these topics, Claude?
No, I'm cool.
You cool? But I should have had more scriptures ready, but I want people to marinate on the one or think about the one I mentioned earlier, which once again, I'm going to put it up once again, is Daniel, 4th chapter, 31st to 32nd verse and 35th. So keep that in mind because we got a lot of scary situations happening. People think we're on the verge of World War III. But remember, always keep in mind, God is ultimately, he's in control. So don't be scared. As they say in the streets, don't be scared. God got you. God got your back, especially if you're trying to do his will and trying to seek him. Acts 2:38. So, with that being said, I think we've done enough damage. But if you what any concluding thoughts, Claude?
No, I don't have none right now. Not on that.
Not on that. All right. All right. Well, Claude, great show. I should have had some Pistons highlights, but I didn't. But I don't want to get in trouble with the NBA or the NFL, so I got to be careful about that. I'm sorry, what?
I was going to talk about the wrestling, but it ain't worth talking about.
Well, I mean, hurry up. We got a few minutes left. What you want to say?
Well, the AEW was for 6 hours. You could just say that at $50 for nothing.
A $50 pay-per-view?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, WWF. I know. That's Tony Khan. It's Tony Khan for you.
Mm-hmm.
The one that owns the Jaguars. They conning people.
Khan is conning people?
Conning people for 6 hours.
I think that's kind of like overkill. That's like longer than WrestleMania.
Yes. I know it's killing me inside.
And what were you going to say about the WWF?
Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, WWF. Hey, Survivor Series. The 2 matches. Well, it was 3 matches that was okay. The whole thing. The women's match. The women's 10, 5-on-5. They could have kept that. And I ain't sick on it, but Nia Jax ruined the whole match.
How'd she do that?
You know how she just destroyed people's faces. She shouldn't have been in. But she basically, I'm not trying to be threatening. I'm not trying to be cold, but she needs to lose some more weight. She's too big.
She injured somebody else?
No, but she could have.
Mm-hmm.
She's using Yokozuna's what his move used to be?
Bonsai drop.
Bonsai drop on people like, man, you could be breaking people's noses and stuff, but that's what she be doing now. Like, right, really. But they didn't win. It was Naomi's team won.
Didn't that have Bianca Belair on it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
won.
Okay. Now we're gonna close with no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then the Roman Reigns King won, and then in the middle of the match, Roman Reigns wouldn't let CM Punk out. He wouldn't let him out. Hey, so CM Punk just went out before Roman Reigns. So it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight for Royal Rumble, before Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. They gonna have it out.
They're gonna have it out there. Well, we knew that was coming. We knew that was coming just from the promos.
Yeah.
So
at the end, it might as well say it's coming. It's coming. Paul Heyman might be coming back to CM Punk anyway. So.
Okay. Well, I'll close with this, and we'll stick with the wrestling. They did an angle with Jade Cargill because originally she was supposed to be in that match, and supposedly she was injured. She was found. They showed an image of her on a car with supposedly with lacerations, punctured lung, fractured ribs, all this stuff. But it turns out it was a rib itself. Rib meaning it was kayfabe. So she's not really injured. And we found this out from PWI. That was his name, Dave Meltzer. So it came from a legitimate source. So all that's an angle along the lines of the time Vince McMahon was blown up in a limousine, and they were talking about who did it. So that's the angle with Jade Cargill. They were talking about who did it, who beat her up, left her for dead, and everybody's a suspect on the women's division. So I don't know where they're going with that. I don't even think they know yet. They're trying to figure it out, what's going to work. But they suspected Naomi, and some people even suspected, they try to say Bianca. So Bianca's her partner. So that doesn't make...
What's her name?
Nia Jax.
Not Nia Jax. The other one.
Bailey.
Yeah, I think she had something to do with it.
Bailey. So. But wait a minute, Claude. It's all fake. So basically, what you try to do is guess what storyline angle they're gonna go with. Who they're gonna have that turned on them. They've done that type of angle a zillion times. One notable time they did it was the time Shawn Michaels was beat up, and he was trying to figure out who did it. Turned out it was Hunter. It was you, Hunter. That's just so wrestling. It's only so many ways you can recycle an angle. So that's the dilemma they have to deal with. How do they do a swerve and make people, like, wow, I didn't see that coming. That's how that works. So anywho, that's our updates. That's our Truth Hurts show. And we want to tell everybody, if you want to come out the Matrix, take the red pill, get the Bible, read it, get baptized, and follow Acts 2:38, get baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, and wash your sins away and seek God in these last days while there's time left. And I'm going to conclude with that public service announcement. And anything else you want to add, Claude?
No, next time, if we God got you first. That's all I got.
Okay. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Everybody, God bless you. Always remember, seek the truth. Search as hard as you can, but just remember when you find it, the truth hurts. God bless everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you soon, and peace.
Oh.
Peace out.